Today, we're going to ruffle some feathers and speak the truth. Look, just to let you know, I'm 46 years old. I've been collecting since I was 9 years old. I've been spraying cologne since I was 4 years old. And I was spraying, some of the best colognes at that time. Not everything because I was young, but I did like things, and I'll get into that in a moment. But what we're going to speak about today is the pure nonsense of niche and designer, guys. It is just nonsense. And let me show you what I mean by why is it nonsense. What is this saying in the bottom of the bottle? Eau de toilette, correct? Look at this Chanel. How many reviewers of yours got this? But anyway, doesn't matter. This is for the reviewers that feel like if you don't got stuff like this in your collection, you're not a collector. You see how it says Eau de toilette? The reason why they had that back in when I was buying perfumery, and I was buying it at 9 years old. Okay, guys? My mother would give me money. I would walk to the mall. It was right by my house. And I would go buy cologne. That's what I would do. She would give me a good amount of money for being a little kid. And I bought cologne. So, here's the gimmick. They put this Eau de toilette because if they would have put perfume, parfum, whatever on the bottom of this label, no guy would have purchased that fragrance. Because back then, men were men. Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I'm not saying that this makes you a man, that Eau de toilette, but it was that serious. This is facts. Okay, I lived in the era, you can't tell me no different, right? This is for the young bucks. All the older guys should already know this. So that's a gimmick. And the other gimmick is niche and designer. I'll explain to you why. So, when you're talking about the 80s, when I was buying fragrances, but I was wearing fragrances since 1981. I was wearing polo green. I would go to my father's cabinet, take out his polo green, and spray it. And it smelled amazing. And then my mother would have a lot of female fragrances. And let me tell you something about those female fragrances from back then. They were potent, strong, super animalic. I'm talking about designer houses, okay? That Dior Poison was so strong. And I'm talking about, man, she was rocking this in the mid-80s. I don't know when it came out. I would say it had came out like when I was 8 years old, maybe 9. Yo, that thing she was spraying, and in my room I would smell it. And my room was down the hall. Okay, guys? So back then, like, for example, if you were to smell this, okay, guys? All you newbies, all the young reviewers, you would run from this. And this is designer, right? But this is not the only thing designer means is that this house does more than perfumery. And what niche is, that house only does perfumery. But that has nothing to do with the quality of work of the fragrance. Because back in those days, yes, you had creeds and you maybe had other brands that I had no idea about. But nobody cared because designer houses were doing stuff like this. They were putting out the Obsessions, the Eternities, the Cool Waters, the Dior Fahrenheit, the original. Listen, I'm going to tell you something about that original Fahrenheit before I continue, because I want you guys to understand about this nonsense. So here's the Parfum, the La Parfum, right? Okay, this is nice. But the other Dior Fahrenheit, I'm going to tell you what it smelled like. Now, I didn't purchase this fragrance because I'm a kid. That's not for me. But my friends, older brothers, back then was different, guys. Back then, there was no computers that you be on, and you would go to people's houses. You interact with people. not like today. So his older brother would rock the Fahrenheit, Dior Fahrenheit. But this is like 87, I think. 86, between 86 and 88, somewhere around that time. That fragrance dropped. This smelled like if you went to a gasoline station, took a pump, pressed the nozzle, and the gas started flying out. That's exactly what that smelled like. For at least an hour strong, that thing was, my God, nuclear. Now, saying this to all the young guys, all these older reviewers, I very much doubt ever smelled that. Okay, guys? Very few. There might be like a handful, a little more than a handful. But a lot of your favorite reviewers, no way in Jesus Christ did they smell that. The kid did, because I was around those people. Because even if you were my age, you really think at like 10 years old, depending what, who you are, what neighborhood you're in, are you really going to be around fragrances like that? Maybe you were. But I was. And if, let's say, I'm 46 and you're 40, there's no way you smelled that. Because by the time you would have got around to it, probably reformulated, still really strong, but you never smelled the original. So take it from me, guys. This whole game of this is niche quality, this is not niche quality, it's all nonsense, right? And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. So, for example, this fragrance, my boy used to rock this in 91 like crazy. Look at this. I know your favorite reviewers on those. Oh, they don't got this. A majority. Only one guy really seen rock this. Is Jersey Shore, Jersey Fragrances. He loves everything from the 70s and 80s. He's just a freak for it. So you got to be one of those to get this Oscar de la Renta. And if you know what this is, this was like another dumb animalic fragrance. What the hell? My boy, I'd be like, what the hell, man? This was not like your obsession. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. This was beyond one of those. You want us to talk about niche? When this dropped, this was niche level, like exotic, different. What the hell? If that's what you think niche level is, because this is a designer, and it says Eau de Toilette, right? Not because the concentration was Eau de Toilette. Again, like I said prior, it's because no man would purchase it. These things were super potent. The opening on this, the dry down sick. The dry down is some Playboy-ish, but the openings. Remember back then as well, they used to use real musk. I mean, they would cut the nuts out of a deer or wherever they got it from. If they said castoreum, guess where they got that from? So, those fragrances back then were very different than today as well. Okay, guys? So, let me continue. The whole niche designer thing, that is just simply saying that niche means you only do perfumery. A designer means you do more than perfumery. So what designers figured out, right, is that they don't make their money selling these type of stuff. And I'll prove it to you. What's a fragrance you hear reviewers say, oh, it's niche level, which does not even exist. This is a fragrance, Gucci Guilty Absolute, right, that dropped. This is what you will call like an exotic niche level fragrance, where it's different, it's bold, it's daring, it's sexy, but it's not going to be sexy on the first spray. This is not Naxos, right? No, this gets sexy in an hour. Hold on, guys, 1 second. So, back to the show. This gets sexy like in an hour or two, and that's what I would consider niche level, right? So, if you're saying that's niche, then designers been doing that way before niche. Okay, guys? And this proves to you, okay, what I wanted to prove was, that the reason why they stopped making this, right? They stopped making it because it don't sell for them, right? If you look at what really sells for them is these type of stuff. You know, whether your reviewer wants to admit it or not. This is what sells, guys. And you know why this sells? Because this is mass appealing. Look, there's a small percentage, very small percentage that is called us that are buying fragrances and making all these little assumptions of blah blah blah, and this is better than this and that and that and that. But the truth is, if you go to the sales, right? Sales. What's selling? If you go based upon that, you're looking at Chanel and Dior. And you're looking also at Mason Baton Rouge 540. So, what's really selling is the Dior, Chanel, and all these designer houses. That is what's selling the most, guys. Not Creed Aventus, not Parfum de Marly, not Initio, not Guerlain, none of your little Serge Lut, all you niche heads, all you, whatever that word means, niche heads, whatever you stuck-up reviewers live on, your favorite brand isn't selling peanuts compared to these. Because this is what the masses want. This is what the girls want, right? So, guys, understand something. And to the reviewers that I'm going to probably, ruffle their little feathers. That about, oh, these fragrances at least have this, and oh, they're a well-established brand. Listen, Creed said that they sold to the kings and queens and they full of ish, right? So stop it, man. I don't care about no brand. And the truth is that all these high-end, that all these designer brands just stop doing this extra level of work that they used to do. They stopped because the sales aren't worth it for them. So then these niche houses picked up the crumbs. Okay? That's really what happened. Now, let me show you this. So all the niche snobs that looking at me, or the reviewers that think, I don't got a collection. I got Guerlain's too and everything. Look, Serge Loutin. I got about 10 of these suckers. You tell me. You know? Another one. Let's say, look, Chanel. Got about 10 Chanels. Right? Dior. Got a couple Dior. Well, I got a lot of Dior. That be actually, but a lot of them are the same. Look, something like this. You guys don't even got this in your collection. I just want you guys to understand that designer houses stop taking the assignments of doing stuff like this because they sell the least amount. Okay? And even like a Parfum de Marly that a lot of reviewers criticize, and they really criticize this house for maybe more personal reasons than anything else. Because look, when I buy Parfum de Marly, I'm not thinking of, oh man, it's going to be epic. It's going to be the new fragrance of a lifetime. No. I'm thinking of, this thing is going to get me attention from females. Yeah. Yeah, when I buy Parfum de Marly, that's what I'm thinking. So all you reviewers that take this a little too serious, I'm trying to be nice. This is my second video doing this. I'm being nice this video, I swear to God. Because I don't really have a tongue and I really don't care. This is what I buy if I want to get girls. This is a brand I'm looking for. Another brand that I am looking for if I want to get girls. If I want to get girls. Initio. Look, is this groundbreaking? Probably very not. Do I care? Absolutely not. Because to all you guys in there or out there, if you don't know how many girls will latch onto you with this, I get it. maybe you're just not that handsome. You're not in good shape. It's not. It doesn't. Not every guy has that quality. But if you have these qualities, these are the fragrances you need, right? I don't need a Serge Luton at that point. I'm sorry. Maybe they're upper, higher end level. Maybe one of those might be a super duper bomb. Shergy is sexy. I give it that. Shergy's sexy, but it's not sexier than Oud of Greatness. Maybe the old formulation. Maybe. I can't tell you. But I tell you this. When I buy Initio, I am thinking female attraction. I am not thinking this is going to be the new obsession that's going to change the whole algorithm. Because again, I guarantee none of these reviewers ever even smelled the real obsession. I purchased it myself. That revolutionized, yo, you guys have no idea. That fragrance changed how people because that was daring, sexy. My God, if they dropped that original formulation right now, these houses will be in shambles. They'll be crying. Dior Sauvage will be running. Remember, Obsession was outselling Chanel. I'm telling you. Another fragrance I'm going to mention before I go on with this stuff. Eternity. Not the eternity you guys see, guys. I'm going to tell you the real eternity. Because again, I know that these reviewers can't do that. Lime green. Literally, the juice was lime green. I was a kid. I was like 10 years old. And I was looking through the glass like, what? And I can't stop. That is a memory. That's stuck. That's like printed in my brain. Looking through the glass and saying, how the F is that juice lime green? I mean lime green. When it first dropped, that thing was lime green. Cool Water. Listen, I know we still got Green Irish Tweed. I hear you. The same perfumer, but I will say this. I have a pretty old school bottle of that. Not 85 old school. So I can't tell you that either. My bottle's pretty old. What I'm going to say is this. That's a sexy fragrance. But the Cool Water that dropped in 88 is sexier than that fragrance. 100%. It's a sexier Listen, guys, when Cool Water dropped, that was another, like Fahrenheit Dior, Noir, Jacquard Noir. That's another banger that came out in the 80s. Listen, guys, there's a lot. And they were really good. They were daring, They were sexy. But Cool Water, another monumental fragrance. Eternity, Polo, Obsession, Fahrenheit Dior, Jacquard Noir. And of course there was more, right? But I didn't know everything. I was a kid. I only could gravitate to stuff that was super sexy. I don't need something crazy challenging. That's why, like I said, the Dior, the original Dior Fahrenheit, I didn't buy it. I could have. But there's no way I'm putting that on. So again, guys, please, to all the young reviewers, let this be a lesson. All that niche designer is absolutely nonsense, okay? The only thing is, a lot of the designer brands stop doing the edgy fragrances that niche do because the sales aren't the same. And like I said, I pointed it out with this one, for example, look, I have Guerlain's, right? Great house. But if you put this on and you're not like over 40, you're not going to like this fragrance, bro. And it's unfortunate that that's what you have to experience, right? And for example, look at Xerjoff. I love Xerjoff. You see people bashing Xerjoff all the time. Why? Because they're not original. All the ingredients is not super high quality. I don't need I don't know. I like paying $100 and something for a great fragrance. This fragrance smells great to me. I mean, smells better than a goddamn, you know, let's say to me it smells better than this, where it's, bubblegum fresh and it's what it is. But it's mass appealing to women. This is some sexy, different ish, and you wear this on a different occasion. Do I think Xerjoff is unique? No, but who really cares about that? When I'm thinking of buying Xerjoffs, again, I am thinking of I'm gonna get some punani. I mean, what do you expect from these brands? They give you fragrances that are attractive. Now, if you're not an outgoing person as a reviewer, if you're not that attractive or you're not saying you're ugly or anything like that, but if you don't feel like you have to do all of that, hey man, that's you. And don't buy Xerjoffs, don't buy a lot of these brands that could be very turned off. But if you're into getting girls and you're not, you're single, because a lot of these guys are married and they don't understand that part. If you're single, these are the fragrances you need, right? Another type of fragrance you need, like these Dior's, right? This Fahrenheit is amazing. This is super sexy, you know? This is what the game has come to. For example, my girlfriend thinks this fragrance is sexy. It smells good. But to be honest with you, it's very challenging and most people not going to agree to this. Some are, some aren't. That's the ball bounces. I know when I buy Javoy, I'm not thinking of Parfum de Marly, I'm going to get mad girls. Nope. I'm not thinking of a Tom Ford fragrance. I'm really not. I'm not. When I buy Javoy, when I buy this brand, I'm thinking of niche quality. And that means that they're going to do something different, daring, exotic, and they don't care. That's what I'm expecting when I buy Javoy. But if I buy Oud of Greatness, I'm thinking of, if I go out tonight with my good looks, and of course, I have other gifts that I'm not going to say to other men. But, man, how many girls am I going to get with this? That's what I'm thinking. Now, when I buy a Serge Routon, am I thinking that? Yeah, 50-50. With Serge Routon, Sergey is sexy. Ambre Sultan is sexy. They have another one there that I think is sexy. But then they're going to have other ones that are very challenging that I have. And Ambre Sultan is super challenging, guys. The dry down is sexy. I smell one of them, from my memory banks, one of the sexiest smelling fragrances. The dry down is, amazing. But the opening is insane. So people are not going to gravitate to that. They might gravitate more to Shergi. Because Shergi is sweet, honey, tobacco. The hay in here is nothing like Ambre Sultan. To me, it's like polished. It's not daring at all. It's a sexy fragrance. So, Serge Routon, they got some sexy fragrances. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, for the most part, even Guerlain's, yes. Some Guerlain's are gonna be sexy. I ain't gonna lie to you. And some of them are gonna be challenging. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's what it is. But for the majority, I like Guerlain. I haven't smelled everything. I want to smell. Robes keeps talking about vanilla and the tonka bean one. I gotta smell them. I gotta see. But I take his word for it. So listen. I know I've been repeating myself and talking about this, but this is the truth about niche and designer, guys. Hold on. And I want to say one more thing. This fragrance game is getting watered down in the sense of, forget about more reviewers It's getting watered down from the top reviewers. It's you guys. It's you guys doing whatever you're doing on top. Controlling, doing whatever you want. But I'm going to say this. I had a Mount Rushmore in fragrances. I had 5 guys that I would say that were my top 5. But there's about a top 10, really. But 1 died and 2 stopped in my top 10 list. 2 stopped. So the one I put in second place, this guy sold Soulja Boy. And the crazy part is that with so much talent, he doesn't need the money. He makes fragrances on his own. There's a company backing him up. He doesn't need the money. No way he needs the money that bad. No way Soulja Boy's paying you that much money. Did he give you $100,000? I don't think so. Right? So, and when you see these reviewers do these things, you're the guys that are ruining the game. It's not the guys coming in. It isn't the oversurging of reviewers. It's you guys that are doing all these, salesman tactics, especially the top guys, man. Like that really disappoints me. You have a high skill level. You're really good at this, and your take is to just cheat the game. Like, it's already high prices. There's so many fragrances that come out every year. It's insane. There's probably every year, I think in the world, there's got to be 7,000 to 8,000 fragrances available. Different fragrances. Okay? If you go back to 1980, there was probably under 1,000. But look, so you guys are ruining this game, right? And that's probably why you see the overfloodedness of new reviewers, because they probably got burned a lot of times watching you guys pitch them garbage, right? And then, because when a lot of these guys started, they would have the same fragrance every day almost. Yo, Creed, Tom Ford, Creed, Tom Ford, there. Same fragrances, right? And then, it's all good. Get paid. I will never be mad at a reviewer that wants to get paid, make money, but you don't have to sell out to make money. That's your option. You choose to do that. You do. And you blame others when they point it out on you. And this is the truth. So, to all you top reviewers that are ruining the game, selling fragrances for a ridiculous amount of money, I mean, you guys want to say that one move wasn't dirty. That one move was dirty. Charging people $250 for something that costs maybe 70, 50 fucking bucks. And you're telling them to pay $250, then they get a discount, and then they get robbed, and you guys want to act like, no, but we run the game. You guys are ruining the game. Family, it's been long enough, and this is the truth on fragrances that are niche and designer. They're telling you lies. It's all lies. No such thing. Doesn't matter where you get it from. The quality could be equal on any path, on any stage. All right, guys? And I'm out. But before I'm out, you know how we do here? We praise to the Most High. We stay fly. Health is wealth. Man Cologne channel. And I'm out of here. Peace, family.